friends of Emasters 24 podcast. It's been a while since I've seen some of you or spoke to some of you. It's always a pleasure. Um, Happy Sunday to all of you and to all my fans and supporters of Emasters 24. It's been a tough beginning, but it's on the right direction. Today we'll do something different, something unique, something we haven't done before. We'll talk about history. I mean, it might sound boring, it might sound different, but history kind of reminds us of the time, place, where we are, where we're from, and where we are going. I know some of you are perhaps ahead of time. Some of us we're still catching up. Some of us are already made it accordingly. So, and again, welcome to my audience in français. Bonsoir, bonjour. J'espère que vous allez très bien. Aujourd'hui, nous allons avoir une séance différente. Nous allons parler de l'histoire. Nous allons nous situer par rapport à l'histoire, où l'histoire nous amène-t-elle, d'où nous venons et où en sommes-nous par rapport à l'histoire. Vous savez bien que dans l'histoire, nous avons différents types de calendriers. Nous allons parler des différents calendriers au fil des âges et pour aussi en savoir plus où exactement nous sommes situés dans le temps de l'espace. Welcome, and it's going to be very interesting. En passant, j'aimerais saluer mes parents, ma famille. Passing by, I would like to greet my parents, my family, mom and dad, hello, my brothers, my unique special sister, Eunice, love you. All my childrens, I call them childrens, without differences. All my nephews and nieces, my children that I adore. Happy Sunday. We talk too much about Sunday, Some people that believe Sunday is the last day of the week, they can't wait for Sunday to come. Truly, is Sunday the last day of the week? Question mark. Some people do believe that Sunday is the first day of the week, according to different calendars. Calendar. I've heard that we've got more than one calendar, and I just came to an article yesterday. Different cultures and traditions have developed their own calendars over time. Some of the calendars used around the world include one. Have you heard about the Gregorian calendar? The one perhaps we are using in this modern time. Maybe you didn't know that. The Gregorian, and who in the world is Gregory? Came out with his own calendar. Guys, can you imagine that? And whoever divided the world between BC, before Christ, or before death, BD, and AC or AD, after Christ or after death. See, history is told by the people that rules the world at that particular. History is written by leaders. History is written by people who lead the world at that particular moment of time. My question today is, are you writing a new chapter of your life? Or are you rewriting history? We've got a saying that I've heard numerous times, that history repeats itself. We're going to go into that in a bit. But before we go any further, We also have I mean, we're still illustrating different types of calendars that we have. We also have the Chinese calendar. Is the Chinese calendar? So have you heard of that? The Chinese, yeah, probably. The Chinese calendar is based on a lunar solar system. The moon, the lunar solar system, the moon. And just next to China, we also have the Japanese calendar. I mean, everyone back in the days, they just want to have their own calendar, you know. The Chinese decided, hell yeah, today I want to have my own calendars. I determine what day of the year I was born. Probably my falsify my old passport. Who wonders how many criminals exist back then? Imagine you were born and all of a sudden they have to change your date of birth. Funny enough. To the Chinese, I mean the Japanese just next door, eventually decided to have their own calendar. And we've got the Buddhist calendar. Have you heard about the Buddhist calendar? We know the Buddhism is type of beliefs. I don't know whether it's a religion itself or it's a belief. So my question is, for some of you who loves yoga, mindfulness classes and stuff like that, who perhaps have read the book of Confucius. Confucius was one of the greatest philosopher of the time. I actually read some of his books. They're quite interesting. Confucius is actually one of the pioneers into philosophy and psychology. If you're into Jean-Paul Sartre, Socrates, and all Karl Marx and all these philosophers and psychologists, this might be of interest for you. And we also have the Iranians calendar. All of a sudden, the Iranians decided to have their own calendars as well. I mean, guys, do not underestimate some of the countries that you see today. Iranians, if we go back in the days, the old ancient Iran used to be part of the Persian Empire. Have you heard of that? The Persian Empire, one of the greatest empire prior to the Greek invasion with Alexander the Great. Guys, you really need to know our history, because if you don't know history, or I wonder what you're doing, where you're going. So, the Persians, Merchant Persians, or Great Persia, what we call Iran today, with Iraq, the Mesopotamia. It used to be the Great Babylon, so it was one great empire ruled by, I think it was Darius the Great or somebody like that. It's interesting. And maybe furthermore, we will see that that empire was destroyed, defeated by, obviously, Alexander the Great. Then came the Greek. Hence why some of the terminologies and the words that we use in the alphabets comes from the Romans and the Greeks. So we can see how Persia, Greek, Romans, evolutions. It's good to know about the civilizations. So yeah, the Iranians came with their own calendars as well. And we've got the Hajiri calendar. I don't know where exactly this came from, but it sounds like it's more like the Hindu kind of, might not be certain on that one. So, spelled Hotel Indigo, Juliet, Romeo Indigo. Hijiri or Hajiri calendar. One of the twos. And then guess what? The Hebrews, my fellow Hebrews, is like, no, we're not going to be left with our calendar. Let's have our own calendar. So we've got our Hebrew calendar. Calendars can be classified in four types. We've got the lunisolar, the solar, the lunar, and seasonal. So, and again, some people came with the ideology of looking the stars, looking the sun, looking the moon, reading the signs of the stars in the sky, and obviously to have a different calendar. But is that very important? Because all that gibberish to me just brings a bunch of confusions in my mind. Question mark. So, am I really from the 80s? Or perhaps I'm an alien. I always have been here. Alright. See, this is why I miss you sometimes, because I do like to just hibernate and take some time off. And obviously to do some research, some readings, and come back with a lot of gibberish. Who talks about calendars? The reason being is because today, obviously, we're Sunday, the 11th. The month of February is one of the shortest months within the year. I believe this year we've got 28 days or 29, I think. 28. The shortest. And everyone is like, oh, not long ago it was just Christmas, and now it's gonna be spring soon. Yeah, time just flies by. So 11th of February today. So in the history, what really took place on this specific day? We're gonna just grab a few examples of event or things that happen within history throughout the time, despite different calendars. We will begin with year 385. I mean, we are in 2024, so year 385. Dude, you and I, we didn't even know what iPhone looks like, or Samsung Galaxy, or Instagram or TikToks. There's a reason why I'm talking about this stuff, guys. Folks, it's really important for you to pay attention. We are sitting on what I call don't take it. I call it a nuclear time. We're sitting on a time where everything travels really fast. Even decision makings. Have you realized people are very easy to snap these days? A little tiny thing back in the days, we could have just had a beautiful meal, a lovely communions, can create a whole inferno. Whole hell breaks loose. Yeah, because the time that we're living now, everything is at a high pace, high velocity. Things has to be accelerated. We want nurses. We're going to create nurses out of nowhere. We want drivers. The government will create drivers, provide jobs to even unqualified. We want food on the table. People will decide how they're going to provide food on the table. We want peace. We want war. People do no longer take time to reflect, analyze, and then pass to decision making. Now, straight away into decisions. And 9 out of 10, most of the decisions are irrational. So when we make irrational decisions, it's not always our fault. It's the time that we live in. That's why I'm talking about these stuffs. The calendar, the lunar system. Remember, even the moons kind of influences our behaviors, our attitude toward one another. Even animals, plants, plantation, the whole nature itself works collectively alongside these signs. Yeah. And now you wonder why, we've got more women with menopause than back in the days. The food that we're eating as well, the diet that we have. We have more people prone to mental health than back in the days. Obviously, it's the tension, the tensions, and yeah. So we've got to really take time to pay attention. Anyway, I don't want to sound like a guru here. So 385 in history, Syracuse, Bishop of Tarragona, elected as Bishop of Rome, first to style himself Pope. 1824, Saint Paschal first ends his reigns as Pope. 1543, Battle of Huayna Daga. Ethiopian and Portuguese troops beat Muslim army. Hello, my Muslim friends. Salam alaikum. 1659, the assault on Copenhagen by Swedish forces is beaten back with heavy losses. 1720, Sweden and Prussia signs peace, Second Treaty of Stockholm. 1766, Stamp Act declared unconstitutional in Virginia. 1790, Society of France petitions Congress for abolition of slavery. That was in 1790. 3 years after, in 1793, Prussian troops occupied Venlo and Netherlands. I never knew that the Prussian occupied the Netherlands. When we talk of Prussia, it's not Russia. Prussia. Remember, we've got the Germano and the Russians. These are two different. That's not the aim of our topic today. But just do your research. 1794, the first session of U.S. Senate open to the public. 1808, anthracite coal first burned as fuel. Experimentally, Wakers Bear in Pennsylvania. Well, somewhere in America, isn't it? Virginia, Pennsylvania, Camillania, all that shebang. Right. 1811, President Madison prohibits trade with Britain for third time in 4 years. 1812, Massachusetts Governor Elbridge Gerry signs a redistricting bill, first gerrymander. 1814, Norway's independence proclaimed. I think on the 11th of February 1814, that's when the Norwegians or the Norway's independence was proclaimed. Hello to my Norwegian friends. 1826, University College London, founded, known until 1836 as London University. That's in London, by the way. 1837, American Psychological Society. Yeah, that was in 37, right? Yeah, the American Psychological Society organized in Boston. 1840, Gaetano Donizetti's opera comic La Fille du Régiment, the daughter of the regiment, premiere at the Salle de la Bourse in Paris, France. Interesting. 1851, 1852, first British public female toilet opens. That was in Bedford Street, London. Wow. Hello, ladies. That was in 1852, first British public female toilet opens. Oh, wow. What were they doing before? Question mark. So we really have to find out. For the first time in 1854, coal gas is used to light major streets in San Francisco. 1855, Casa Hailu is crowned Theodorus II, the second Emperor of Ethiopia by Abuna Salama III in a ceremony at the church of Deraz Mariam. Interesting. And we've got 1858, first vision of the Virgin Mary to 14-year-old Bernadette of Lourdes, France. Guys, let's take a break. What a bunch of nonsense. Yeah. All that in one day. But through different calendars. Am I the only one who thinks into the power of now or the power of I am? I personally think that all that happened in one single day. With different people, different places, at a different given opportunity. Why do I believe that? Listen, some of you are at church today. Hello, I don't like to contradict my fellow Christians, yeah? But, listen, you're going to church thinking, oh, Sunday is the last day of the week. It's the day that, yeah, let's go commemorate when Christ died, blah, 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 blah. Are you sure about that? Are you certain? Christ died on Sunday, the last day of the week. And is that the reason why you go to church? No, I like that. I like people that go to church. It's good. You should go to church, but you have to know the reason why. You have to have that profound zeal to go and fellowship. Me, I personally take going to church as part of fellowshipping, you know. It's not a duty for me. No. My church is me, myself, within myself, you know. Good charity begins with oneself, you see. So that's how I see things. Hey, don't shoot the messenger here. I'm just talking that truth. Yeah, so no, it's good. Get yourself in the habit to go to church or to go to a mosque or to whatever you're worshiping. You know, you that fellowship is good. Human beings were created to socialize, to have connection. I was saying human beings were created to socialize, to have connection. Am I talking? Man, last time I spent about half an hour talking in veins and the volumes was not working, and I hope that's not the case today. Just a little break to take time to diffuse, to infuse, to take some of the information that was given. Meanwhile, I want to take this opportunity to greet all of you soldiers, warriors, fighters, champions that stood with a great recognition of this new year 2024 and are doing so well. Bravo. You know, I'm proud of people that regardless how the odds look like in the past, regardless how the past might have been dark or shady, but they still, you know, have that zeal, that fighting gut to keep going forward. Guess what? The sky is limitless for you. You remind me so much of something. Greatness. Greatness is within you. Greatness is within you when you type into that greatness. Because you have it. You build with it. It's in you. You are great. Hence why this broadcast and podcast was initiated in the first place. To help people like you and I. I was not helped by myself. To help us, each of us, to empower ourselves. Recognize who we are, what we're made of, and aim toward greatness. Yeah, we're gonna make mistakes. Yeah, we're gonna stumble left and right, Santa. So what? Give me an example of who doesn't stumble. I'll tell you, he's the first liar. Anyway, so and again, it is not rocket science, fellas, folks. Life has been defined over the years throughout history by people who took the opportunity and time to change the course of history. I'm not asking you today to go and change the course of history of time, but what I can suggest or advise to one is to change the course of history in your life. You may ask me a question, Joel, what do you think? Well, I mean, what is in your mind? How can I change the course of history of events of my life? Yes, you can. You can and you will. You will. Why? Because it's your duty. It's your duty to do well, to do great, and to do better. It's your duty to achieve greatness, to found your purpose in life. I'm not talking about what you're currently doing, whether you've got a great job or a big mansion whatsoever. That's not what I'm talking about. See, there's a difference between a job and a work. We have to have a job in order to sustain, to pull. I'm not saying to survive. You don't need a job to survive. People who say that they're mistaken the word, the essence of the word itself. I'm talking about to sustain, to provide for our daily needs, our physical needs. We need food, we need shelter, we need emotional, social support. All this stuff is very important, but that's provided naturally, because you can earn a certain income by having a job. But your work is different. Your work is the work that one has to do on this earth during their lifetime. What is your work? Your work is not to wake up in the morning every day, go do 9 to 5, and for you to have a determined salary at the end of the month. No, that's your job. And that's why Jesus said, Jesus, that we are going to church today, he had a job. Yeah, he was a carpenter. He was a son of a carpenter, and Monday, Tuesday, throughout the week, he went with his dad. I think they had a workshop. He was a carpenter. But he said, I came to do my father's job. No, he said, I came to do my father's work. The works of my father. What is the work of yourself today? What is your purpose on earth? If we read in Proverbs 19:21, it says, many are the plans of man. In the heart of a man itself are many plans, but only the purpose of God prevail. That's the only beautiful little message I came to give to you today, Sunday. My friend, find the purpose of your life, not the works of not the job of your life, not the plans. You already have plans. You already know what you're going to do for 2024, perhaps 2025 as well, perhaps for the rest of your years to live. But have you found the purpose of your life? You can find it today. That's why I subscribe to Encrusted 24 podcasts. You and I, we are about to embark in a new journey. May God bless you. Have a beautiful, lovely Sunday. And again, it was your host, Joel. Peace out. Wow.